The reason you're not where you want to be in terms of commissions, status, success, and high ticket is because you don't have the necessary skills. If you clicked on this video, do not be the person who clicks on and clicks off and goes and does random other things that are not even moving the needle in your skill set. Watch the video all the way through. It's going to be a call review. I do these all the time on my channel, and it's going to help you make more money if you actually listen and take notes. Enjoy.
I did a lot of pitting them against each other. She ended up crying, leaving the screen crying, but like later on in the video. But probably can get to that stuff quicker in the beginning, I'm sure. We can find
Let's
some
go,
stuff we
bro.
can get
Let's
better
cook.
on.
Good stuff.
Yes.
I can hear you loud and clear. How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I see half of the two.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, if you can take your tone and calm down, where it's like, hey, how's it going? Having a good day so far? I'm telling you, your close rate will bump up 10%. I'm not kidding.
I need to
It's
try.
as simple as that.
Do it again. I'm gonna repeat what you said.
So if you can just take your tone and
So
bring it down,
if I can take my tone and bring it down.
calm down. Because when you
Boy,
get on the call, you're a very loving guy. You're a high energy guy. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Y'all doing good? Which is fine. But if you can take your tone down, it's going to give you max leverage to ask any question you want to ask whenever you want to ask it, and they can't take it the wrong way. Because where we falter on these calls is the prospect takes it the wrong way. I was on a training this morning, and one of my closers, he made this statement that really stuck out to me. What he said was, me and some of my buddies were hanging out last night, and we got on the topic of weight loss because one of our friends had put on a lot of weight. And what he said that stuck out so much was one of my buddies called him out for it, about how he's overweight and he's unhealthy and he hasn't been going to the gym. And he took it very well. He didn't get offended. That's what he said. And I said, stop right there. Why did he not get offended? What's the answer?
I'm assuming the tone in which you said it, how it said it.
Yeah, that could be it. Think deeper, though.
Because he believed his friend actually cares for him.
Yes. Which means what?
Trust.
Yes. Yes. Trust.
Yeah, there's validity and weight to that statement because of that trust.
So when the prospect gets upset with you for telling them the truth, it's because they don't trust you yet. The trust is earned through asking the right questions and getting the right answers. Simple as that. When you poke the bear and the bear claws you, you take a step back. You reassess the situation. You continue to get more context. You don't get offended because it's a bear. You don't get offended. You don't say, I can't believe he said that to me. You're patient. You empathize. You know that that's a projection that comes from somewhere else, and it has nothing to do with you. Is everyone following me? Okay.
100%.
So tone down.
I gotta work
Adam,
on
Adam,
life.
I noticed. Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
I was going to say I noticed this with my calls too. That once I started coming down, especially at the beginning,
like the one last night. Most I'll ever say is, "Hey, can you hear me? Cool. You're in Vegas? Awesome." And that's like Ashley Tavon or Tavon. And I kept calm and just kept asking the right questions. And then it got to the point I knew I built so much credibility with them where I just said, "Ashley, I'm just going to say this. You have no discipline with your spending. Am I right?" She goes, "You're exactly right." And I said, "Tavon, you're the exact opposite, where you just want to hold on to it, but you're so cheap." He's like, "Yeah. Why haven't you two talked about this? Because you need the accountability." Like, we don't know. And so before, when I came on with super high energy, I wouldn't have been able to ask those questions or even say those statements.
Go.
Feedback. I love it.
If you could just take that one thing, Adam, close rate will get a bump. 100% certain in that.
Definitely gonna start practicing it
Yeah.
immediately.
I know the other one's getting a movie set up for the kids, so.
I got you. I know. How many kids you guys have? How many
We
kids
have
you guys have? 2 kids? How old are they?
5 and 8.
5 and 8. I got a 10. So I'm writing this like 10 and 5 too. So I get exactly where you guys are. And like, what? No
Yeah.
school today for the kids? Are they?
We homeschool.
You hear that energy? That high energy? Up, 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 up. Quick answers. When we get quick answers, it means they're not really thinking through their responses, which we don't want. So you with the chaos and everything going around in their world, kids, soccer practice, school, grades, jobs, chaos. They get on a call with you and everything slows down. Slowing down forces thought. Because realize this, if your prospects thought deeply about their life, they would not be in the position they're in right now.
We do too. Okay, I was wondering. It should be a school right now. Okay.
Adam, how you doing?
How you doing, Alex? How you doing, brother?
Well,
Good deal, man. Where you guys located at? Where you calling from?
Destin, Florida.
Destin, Florida. All right, man. We got a lot.
Okay. And so when we talk to somebody, has anyone ever been in a social situation where, and this all plays together, you're meeting someone for the first time, and maybe they're a little bit more quiet. Maybe they don't need anything from you. Maybe they don't need your validation. Doesn't that intrigue you? So when you get on the call and you're calm and you don't need the sale, it separates you from every single other person that they've ever had a call with in their life. How honest are you with someone that you feel like needs something from you? Not honest. Guarded. Get off of me. Rahel?
Yeah, I've noticed this 100% when the biggest thing I learned this from Chad, because he talks like this, his personality, right? If you know him. I noticed like the biggest aspect you can have a sale is when someone has to sell themselves to you, like almost like you will not qualify them, like you won't let them in. And I was like, how do I get people to do that? And then it's if you just slow down and you just like don't say many words, they just have to like convince you. Like it's the biggest thing. So every question is like it's not enough for them. So then you can just like really clarify, probe. And then I also realized every time I got someone to cry, it's I said the same sentence, but I just said it super slow. And then they just start crying. So it's also I've noticed it's like when you talk fast, you're like unpredictable. Like it's hard to build trust. And you just seem like every salesperson.
Mhm.
So, but the biggest one is definitely like they just feel like they have to convince you.
Yeah. Every single person coming onto the call is guarded. They have a certain expectation on how this call is going to go. And from the second you open your mouth, you're either validating concern or easing concern. Validating or easing concern. Hey, how's it going? Having a good day so far? Oh, how are the kids? I've been to Toronto. And your name, sir? Beautiful family. Love your shirt. That's what they're all doing. Not us.
Yeah.
If you came into a situation expecting to be taken advantage of, and all of a sudden you're not, does that not ease your concerns? Does that not drop your guard?
A lot of commonalities. I'm in Tampa.
Okay,
nice.
Same area, man. Good. Are you guys from there? What's your story?
You see it?
I see it for sure. It just like I said, reprogramming the brain, man. You know, you've been taught for all these years in sales. Build it quick, build a report like 60 seconds and get the fuck
Yeah.
on.
And I don't shame you for that.
I'm reprogramming.
Do you
But
know why I would shame you, though?
wow.
Think. Why would I shame you?
For being disingenuous.
Hmm. Bigger picture. Sam, you got an idea?
I think Adam's a very fucking good closer and he's a very real person. I think the only reason why you would shame him is because he has a greater capacity.
Hmm. So if I believe that someone has a greater capacity to be even better than they are currently, why would I shame them? If what happened?
They refuse to change.
Yes. You guys are catching on. If it doesn't change and it stays the same and you keep the same habits, then I would shame you.
Yeah, we're from here. So I grew up about 40 minutes away from here, and she grew up about an hour away. So we met around college age. So
Solid, man. And I guess happily ever after. Two
Yeah.
kids, partners in the pair, all that stuff.
that's exactly right, man.
Solid, guys. Well, listen, man, it's good to connect with you. And these calls only go like 45 minutes, like max, top of the hour. Are we still good? Just so I know time-wise? Okay, good. Well, just to give you some context, it's just a conversation to see really where you guys are in your current situation, where you really want to be financially, and then what's kind of getting in the way. Okay. Now, if we can help you, I'll lay it out step by step on how we can support you. I'll lay it all out. Now, if we can't help you though, I'll still point you in the right direction. So you get some valuable content, feedback either way. Sound good?
I want to see this in action. I want to see you frame it same words, different tone.
Hey, Tristan. Goal of the call is to have a quick conversation, see where you are in your current situation, where you ultimately want to be, and what's kind of getting in the way. Now, listen, if we can't help you, I still can point you in the right direction. However, if I can, I'll lay it out step by step on how we can support you. And if we're aligned, we'll talk about next steps. How's that sound?
How does everyone feel about that? Yay or nay?
just- I like it because it sounds more real, more candid, and just in terms of like, yeah, this is just honestly how it works. This is what we do here. Does that make sense? Okay. Compared to trying to convince me that this is the right process to go through.
Yeah. And don't be in your own head, Adam. Don't overcorrect because you're not far off. But just calm down. Calm down.
Sounds great.
Love it. Guys, so I do listen. Brennan downloaded me like on some notes, told me a little about you guys, but I don't want to assume anything. Okay. So I guess give me some context in terms of how can we help you? What made you book a call? And we can kind of go from there, I guess.
When you go too quick with that, you're going to get the surface level reason. And an excellent closer is going to take those notes that he's been given by someone else who did some heavy lifting prior. And he's going to take those notes. He's going to address the current state of the union, if you will, And he's going to go deeper into certain sections that he knows will move the needle. That's what excellence looks like.
You want to go?
Yeah, well, I guess so. I found his stuff like a while ago when we were, I just feel like
She found it, not him.
we were in the rat race for a long time, just like paycheck to paycheck. We're a small business, so I think us just managing our money has always just been like, a question of like, and I think
Laughing.
because we don't have 401k, things like that, we have like some investments kind of like, set aside, but we really just need like a plan, really, I think, and something to follow to like not question and stress about money every month, every day. Like, and I just feel like there's so much information out there. And I think, I can get really overwhelmed with like, well, what do we do? And, obviously we're always trying to still.
Okay. Stress, overwhelmed, need a plan. How does one get a plan?
Finding somebody with the plan.
Yeah, and when you find someone who has the plan, what if there are 5 other people who have a similar plan?
Gotta trust the person giving me the plan.
How do you know when you found the right person?
How do you know it's a right plan?
Yeah. How can you know it's the right plan? Who's got the answer?
Well, the truth is you don't. There is no
Well,
right
how
plan.
can you?
You do it. You do
You
one.
just do it.
You do it. You do it.
Grow our income, but like, how do we maximize what we have? Things like that.
Yeah, I'll say
Because what they're saying is we lack the information. What they're really saying is someone should have told us what to do.
very sane. But that the idea is that by the time every year we want to be getting closer to a goal of like, might not be able to be doing the exact same job when I'm 50. So we run a gym, and we're growing the gym, growing the business. Our income is increasing steadily, but it's a service industry, so sometimes it's up, and then sometimes people leave. But we are trying to figure out how to one, just tell ourselves no more regularly, and really our down weeks are when we just lose track of what our like outcome and our goal is with saving, and should you really save or should you put it into something else, and what should you put it in, and having our money work for us, I guess, is like the word that we're looking for. And yeah, just trying to be as wise as we possibly can, with and spend our time and our money wisely.
Okay, got it. So we found Brendan a while ago,
Mhm.
right? I know you mentioned Chris in that say kind of rat race. Do we feel like we're still in the rat race now? Have we always been there, or did something shift, or we still feel that way like today?
I feel like we've been there for a long.
Yeah, I think it is her. It's a kind of
Laughing.
her perspective as well of like, I think
It's her perspective, not our perspective. Her perspective means we're not on the same page. Why would a husband and a wife not be on the same page? Whose responsibility is it to be on the same page? You.
For sure he is. I think we get deeper into that later on in the call by his poor leadership ability in the finances.
Always. And it's not just in the finances.
For sure.
we're in a better place than we've ever been. Our
Ego.
the hours that we're working are awesome. We get to do homeschool with the kids. We get to have weekends where we're spending time with the kids, and just the idea of like what is next, I think makes her feel like we're in the rat race. And we had plans for saving
Makes her feel, well, how do you feel about it?
like 2K every month, and then we had plans for having a third child, so we bought a car that came up kind of randomly through a friend group that we have. So then that kind of pushed us back, but that's really our only like debt that we have. But
Rationalizing.
that throws a wrench when you're spending some $500 a month on some car debt. But it's through my mom loaned us the money, so we're paying it to her, and we're getting it interest free. So yeah, it just always feels like we're like one step forward, not one step backwards, but like there's no big jump or leap. And sometimes I think
Hey, are you paycheck to paycheck or are you not? Are you in debt or are you not? This is why pulling up the notes is so vitally important. Jake mentioned that you guys were in $45,000 of personal debt. Is there a reason you haven't shared that yet? What about that part? Mr. Cope. You can run all you want, brother. Not on this call.
I did that earlier
It's just the
today.
perspective of like, we think we should be further along, but I don't really know what that even is supposed to look like. Does that explain it well enough?
Yeah, you gave definitely a lot of clarity. You say you're
Okay, too agreeable, Adam. Too agreeable. Because I don't know where they're at. Because he keeps creating that box and putting nothing inside of it. What's the state of the union? Are you paycheck to paycheck or are you not? Where are you at? He says he's in a service-based business with a gym. Up and down. What is it? What is up? What is down? Where are you at? But you got flexibility. Hang out with your kids once a week. So when you said you were doing well, I guess in comparison to who, my friend? Compared to what? So that's why we don't want to. Oh, dude. Hey, man. Amazing context. You're incredible. Thank you so much. But I was curious about this. Be more disagreeable.
your mom hadn't loaned you the money was because we didn't have it in the savings, or what? Why did we do that?
Correct.
We had 5
Oh, that's a good one.
that we spent, then she loaned us 10. So yeah, we didn't have the full amount of it, but
Okay. And so, okay, good. And you said found, so in terms of now though, what kind of got you to the
Okay, so this is an example. I'm going to put you on blast, Adam, if you're okay with that.
Man, please do. That's why I come to these calls, man. I come here to you to tell me I'm doing great and give me nice fluffy pillows.
This is an example of a short circuit where you don't know where to go. And then you just throw stuff. But if you knew exactly where you were going and exactly what you needed, you would know that you don't have enough context yet to transition to another question. I don't know enough yet. They're totally rationalizing their situation. They're grown adults taking loans from their parents. Wrong. Bad. Not okay. It's not a little thing.
point now that you say you're raising your hand, kind of asking for help?
You're kind of like, oh,
Wait.
where do I go now?
Yeah, real quick. So, and that's exactly what I was thinking in my head. And I got a lot of angles I can attack this. Give me, I guess, the team. Give me a good question to dig deeper into. You borrow money from your. 'Cause I heard it, so I re-asked the question and said, borrow money from our, parents. Why we do that? So when they say, yeah, we had to borrow money for the car, yada yada, could I have asked, I guess the question of
What are the two things that are missing, guys?
if we're doing good, like you say, Scott, why are we borrowing
Where
money?
are they, bro? What is good?
Context?
Where are they at? Yes. Context on what?
Not just current situation, but
What else?
I still have no idea why they're on the call.
Yeah.
They're
Where are they
paid.
at? Where are
Yeah.
they at? Where do they want to be tangibly? How long? Where are you at? Oh, we make 10K a month. It's inconsistent. What does that look like after expenses? Like what's left over? Nothing. So when you said that you were doing well, if you're ballsy, you'll say, what made you say that? In like a concerned tone. If you're not as ballsy, but you still want to challenge them, you would ask, in comparison to who? In comparison to what? Okay.
From where we
And
used to be.
yeah, they may say that.
Then what do you say? Well, we used to be, barely able to pay the bills. Now we're have a little extra spend. So compared to who we used to be, we're doing great.
What change?
You could go there. I would say, where do you actually want to be though? because I would imagine as 40-year-olds or 50-year-olds with kids, you want to be in a better spot than just average or below average. Would that be fair to say that?
Sure.
Yes. So where do you want to be?
At the place where, yeah, it makes sense. And the
You see what I'm
wife,
saying?
yeah, and you're right. The husband, the ego is trying to cover up the problem.
Always, bro.
She gives the problem. He's trying to protect her, saying, "We're good." We're good." She's like, "No, the fuck, we're not." And the whole call, that's what it is. Now, when she starts crying, he looks at her and says, "Dude, it happened to me. I never knew she felt this way." Type shit. So then we get to that, which I want to get there quicker for sure, though, because it calls took. And my calls, I want to be 45 minutes to an hour, but this took a little longer. But
Let's
the
do
deal
it. Let's
got
do it. I'll jump around.
Up now, as opposed to waiting for a few more months. Like, what shifted for you?
Mm-hmm. It's a good question. I don't know.
Anything happen? Like, I guess like now to make it like we need to get some help now. What happened?
Call out the laughing, please. It's not funny. No one's laughing at 3 a.m. when you look at your bank statement and you got a big, expensive, unexpected bill coming up. No one is laughing.
I think this happens almost every month, right around the time the paycheck.
Yeah, when you have to go to your mom and ask her for a $10,000 loan as a grown adult, were you laughing then as well? No, sir. We were not.
Paycheck comes around, she starts.
I think when we have like low months and yeah, anytime like I start stressing about money, you know, I think we're managing well sometimes.
Stress.
And then sometimes I'm like, I have no idea what we're doing.
How often do we have low months?
Great question.
It can be pretty random. I think we only had 2 this year, which is good, you know.
Yeah, because we have great retention at the gym.
This guy's unbelievable. Shut up. Shut up.
And then randomly, like this last month, we had like 8 people decide to up and leave.
Right.
Just
Well,
because things happen. I don't know if it's holiday. Like
Yeah.
it's not something that we knew like, hey, this month is going to be low. It's
Yeah.
just like they decide like, hey, I'm gonna stop. I'm not saying goodbye, but I can't do it. I can't do it for this month. But most of the time that doesn't happen. We're pretty even keel, and our ones in and ones out don't happen very often.
So describe.
They did happen though. Right. 8 people did leave though, right? Okay.
I guess you guys' definition of a low month in terms of like income. Or how does that typically look for you two?
Yeah, it's income. Like we
Okay.
don't have enough to cover the bills, or
It's
it's
not enough to cover we have enough to cover the bills.
This guy's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
He literally disagrees with everything she says.
I'm like,
Drastic.
hey guys, time out. Are we paycheck to paycheck or not? He says we're not. I say, effing prove it right now. Prove it. We're going to sit down like adults and we're going to go through line by line. Once we uncover that they are, in fact, paycheck to paycheck, I will say this, my friend. I mean, no disrespect. I will say this one time, not twice. If we continue to allow this ego to get in the way, you will never get out of the situation you're in right now. Do you understand? If I didn't care about you, I would allow it. But I care far too much about you to allow one more second of it. Closed.
not 1 month we didn't, and last month was tight.
Okay, so it gets real tight. We could cover the bills. We would just have something else that probably suffered because of it.
Or we overspend because of that somehow, like, too.
Yeah.
Made no sense.
Okay. So it sounds like some months are really good.
Be confused. Were you confused?
A little bit for sure.
If you're
That's-
confused, I can't tell.
Because that's the perfect place where I would typically go, like, I guess I don't really understand. Like, which one is it? Is it we're good
Whoa,
or is
think
it
about it.
we're
Like the
very
only
negative.
reason you wouldn't be confused and dumbfounded, even though you are, is because you don't want to offend them. You don't want to offend them. You don't want to rub them the wrong way, because if you did, they may get upset and we wouldn't know how to handle it. That's the truth. Rahel, you look like you're about to say something.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I'm definitely confused. I'm like, and if they're like, why? I was like, used to are confused. Clearly, used to don't know what's going on, or
Not on the
pretend
same
to know
page.
what's going on. Yeah,
It sounds like Kristen is very concerned about being paycheck to paycheck, very stressed out, and it seems like you're not.
yeah.
Help me understand why that is the case. You're also using language saying things like she is concerned, she thinks XYZ. Is there a reason that I feel as though y'all are not on the same page?
Yeah, Adam.
We have good consistent months.
With your personality, if somebody comes like that, just because I know your personality and how you respond to stuff, I would just be like, hold on, guys, or hold up, guys. I'm hearing two different things. Which one is it? Like, have you two even spoken about what's really going on with each other, or what? And just stay quiet. And if he tries to say something else, like, hold on, but have you two spoken to each other? If no, how come? Because your wife's on a like says one thing, you're saying the other. What is really happening? Because I have no idea what you're talking about.
And who's actually managing the money? Because their voice is probably more valid than the person who is totally ignorant to it. He's probably managing the finances for the business, working with the clients, and she's running everything else. And that's why she's fucking stressed. And he's like, I think things are fine. Yeah, we lost 8 clients last month, but everything's fine because I live in fucking fairy tale land.
Yeah, because he's probably spending his whole time just in the gym and she's in the back end doing everything else.
Gym's doing good, but then some months, which happens in the gym space, we hear a lot is people leave, which holiday time stuff like that happens. Makes sense, and it puts us in a tight spot overall. So I guess let's go back to last month when it was tight. What was the impact of it? You said we could pay the bills, we kind of got it tight, or what was the
No,
impact?
we could pay, we could pay the bills
Okay,
from last month.
we can pay the bills. Gotcha. Now I guess outside of the financial impact, I guess for you,
How close were you to not being able to pay the bills? Because I've heard multiple times that we're paycheck to paycheck, and every time we get close to understanding what that means, all of a sudden we're fine. So what is it? Are you paycheck to paycheck or not?
you two,
Could you even say something like, go be like, are you sure? Because a moment ago it didn't sound like you were.
Yeah.
Just sure. Could you
As
say
long
something
as
like
you
that?
have a tone of empathy and love, 100%. As long as it doesn't come across as condescending or judging them, by all means. Go ahead.
I did exactly that on my call earlier today in consequence. Said to this, she's a nurse practitioner, makes good money, but she's just has really bad spending habits. And I was, after future pacing, this is where you want to go. If we don't do these things, you're not going to be able to put your kid in your second child in private school, like you said you'd like to, and you're not going to be able to buy your dream home and this and this and this. You know, is that something that you'd be willing to settle for? And she basically, the question I asked is like, where does that lead you? And she's like, well, it wouldn't be the worst place. And then I reframed it again. And it was just like, so all of these things hanging in the balance, not being able to be achieved, is that your version of not so bad? Or which is it? Because like, sounds like these are pretty important to you. And she's like, well, I guess when you put it that way, no, I wouldn't be happy with it. So are you willing to accept that reality though? Because if you don't do this, those things are all not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So can you settle for that, or would that be okay? Because I'm not quite sure that's my standard of okay.
Yeah.
And she just went and folded. Boom.
That's how it works. Royal?
Sam, with that one, I like to say, are you are you willing to continue setting for that? Like just that word continuing makes it seem like they have been for so long because they have been, and like they're already on the path, so they have to change the path.
Like that.
And I've just that one word for me has helped a lot. So I don't know.
Is this bleeding into any other areas of life, like emotional, mental, or was it only in financial?
It's do not allow this narcissist a way out of taking that question and answering honestly. It's not, is it affecting any other area? It's in what way is this affecting other areas? The words are so important. Is it? No, we're good. Tell us about the pitch. No. What gives you leverage for this to land is you do the heavy lifting by reading your notes, being prepared, knowing what the income to debt looks like, knowing what the income to expenses looks like. You twist the knife on that. When you look at the income, the expenses, the money left over, the lack of freedom, the lack of ability to XYZ with your family, how does that sit with you? Blah. Negative, 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 negative. In what way is this affecting kids, friends, life, you, her, etc.?
Financial impact.
For me, it's emotionally. I feel anxious and I notice my, you know, I'm less patient and things like that. I think it's more of an emotional toll for me than it is for him. I think he's just so positive that's like, oh, whatever happens, we'll be fine. But then I just told him, I feel like if I had a plan and knew what we needed to do, then we could do it. Because we did do that last year. We saved 2K every month, raised 10K. Obviously, expenses happened. We bought a car, we had taxes we had to pay. All that went away. So like, then I feel like now it's like, okay, well, how do we just keep doing that, or do we save? Do I invest? Like, where would the best use of our money time like be spent? You know, and obviously, like kids are going to be like they're gonna need braces and like all this stuff. And I'm like trying to be wise and get ahead of it, but before.
Okay.
No,
we need it. Okay. So walk me through how the money flows when it hits the account. Like, where does it typically go each month? How does it go?
You're talking about like what our expenses are?
Yeah. So typically, I think 9,500 comes in.
I think this has been the third or fourth time she's brought pain into the conversation and it hasn't been addressed or unpacked. So that's something you also want to be aware of, Adam. When she says stressed, anxious, worried, that's all pain. Angry, agitated, short fuse, pain. Stepping over it, every time you step over it, likelihood down, 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 that they're going to bring it up again. Then what? Surface level conversations. They go nowhere. It's like talking to a wall.
Per month right now, I think on average, that's what Brendan told me.
Wait, okay, I just did that wrong. Maybe I didn't do that.
Yeah, I didn't think that you would.
Okay. Well,
Feel like I had that much stuff every month at the end of the month.
no.
Okay.
We have different credit cards and then taxes. We don't pay. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like the way that I am detailed about it is not how you threw us back a little bit.
Just overall.
I guess, or we're not preparing for those unexpected things, and then it throws. I guess I just want to have a plan for the future.
You personally, Chris, why is having that plan important to you overall? Is it more so we're going to have security for the kids, the future retirement? What's
Kind of going like, cool, we're not gonna we don't have to spend any extra money.
In the season of the financial kind of paycheck to paycheck feeling?
I believe it's gonna work out, and that's just she sees a lot of this.
Like, we know we can say.
You to know we're okay. Like we have a.
Yeah, ways to kind of get the money. I guess Alex, for you, what happened? I guess for you, it doesn't
She
change.
get like 50 minutes, she cries,
I'm
bro.
cool. Just one area specifically. You got to see.
That's what it said.
But we want to help you kind of show up. We want to help you be accountable, getting the plan set up. Because once the system is set, it's good to be set and forget it. Shit, system, all that stuff. We really like to help us get to the point where this financial stress bubble is popping and we're building wealth and getting closer to financial freedom. How you guys feel?
Maybe that's a pitch. Maybe that's too far.
I'm asking you, how do you feel?
She doesn't look like she cried.
Oh, she for sure cried, dude. She ran off and he was looking like, you had some great questions. I didn't know she was even feeling this way. I don't know.
I missed what she said.
She said something like you.
I don't know where it was though.
Wow, leader.
She went, okay, my hands are down. I think to myself, like, I'll do something.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess we.
And some AI stuff coming into the community too. AI going crazy.
I'm
all
close.
had credit cards over 0% interest. That.
What regard you to that one?
Yeah.
A couple $100 that way. I think the biggest question comes down.
I believe you.
Nah, they
But
close.
you know where.
Yeah, so for me, dude, this call was very good in terms of getting there quicker. Because typically, like I told you, I like my calls to be like under, I like being efficient, right? I'm very big on time. If I have to go longer, sure. But if I go to the doctor's office, they give you an hour slot, you in and out in an hour, dude. They're not playing around. So it's always how can I get more efficient and clean up the beginning part for sure. Just have more context coming in, money flow is happening, and right out of the gate in the beginning, that gives me more clarity in terms of that overall. Because it didn't take too long to get. That's why I didn't pitch though, Tristan, to your point. I didn't feel like I had enough ammunition to even pitch. So I stayed longer than I needed to until I got what I needed. But I could have got it earlier, clearly, with all the stress and pain. Clarity, number one, and then digging into it right away, right out of the gate.
Yeah. What if I told you I would rather you be thorough than efficient?
I would say yeah. But why can't you do both? That's all I ask you.
You can. What we saw though was not thorough.
No, for sure. I agree. Like I'm not pushing back at all. I want to be
So
militant in this thing, dude. 2 minute
that's the
drill. I
next
want to
level.
get the ball across the line, bro. So what have I got to do? Let's
Next
get
level
better
is
together.
thorough, probing, clarifying, challenging, reframing, patience, tone, all those things. Good job closing them though. Very good job.
Fellas, I appreciate
One
you
piece
guys.
at a time. All right,
One piece
boys.
at a time, man. Let's get it.
Everyone has calls. Let's make it rain. Good luck.